Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have another video about the USA. We're still continuing in our journey learning about the USA. This one's called 8 things people get wrong about the US military. So before we start, do not forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, comment on what channel is next, and if you have a link, drop it down below, and subscribe to the channel for more content. Let's go. We are close to 500, so let's go to 500 subscribers. Let's get into the video.
8 things people get wrong about the U.S. military. Attention soldiers. There are 6 branches of the U.S. military, and each and every one has popular myths surrounding it. Thanks, film.
Wait, is it 6 or 8? Because I thought the last video I reacted to said 8. I don't remember the title of the video, but the video said 8, unless I am mistaken.
And television. But is it true that you can run away and enlist in the army? And how often do you really have to drop and give him 20? Turns out we've got a lot wrong about how the U.S. military works. Number 1. All veterans have dangerous PTSD. Sadly, studies have shown that of all the Iraq and Afghanistan war veterans, those displaying PTSD make up at the lowest 13.5% and at the highest 20 to 30% of personnel.
Really? Because man, okay.
There is an unfortunate stereotype that these veterans are prone to outbursts of violence as survivors of PTSD. In fact, in a 2021 survey of 2,000 Americans, 26% believe that people with PTSD must be violent or dangerous. But this view of PTSD has been exaggerated by the media, leaving the average person to believe anyone who comes back from war is a firecracker waiting to go off. Although it can be a symptom of the illness, it's a myth that PTSD automatically equals a violent person. The overwhelming majority of people with PTSD live regular day-to-day lives upon returning home and do not harm others. Number 2, enlisting is easy. There are plenty of TV shows and movies where the troubled young kid runs away and enlists in the army, disappearing from his family seemingly overnight. But this is incorrect. It's nowhere near as easy to join the military as the media makes it out to be. No branch of the armed forces will take someone without at least a high school diploma or possibly a GED. And depending on the branch of the military you want to go into, there can be some strict requirements. Officer positions are competitive and require at least a college degree, although many actually also have a post-grad certification. In the Coast Guard, you can't have more than 3 dependents, and in the U.S. Air Force, you must be a certain height, weight, and vision, among other requirements.
Really? I didn't know that height was a requirement. Okay, I'm learning something new.
But there are 5 pieces of criteria you must meet no matter which branch of the military you're interested in joining. Number 1, we've covered. You need a high school diploma. The rest are: Number 2, be a full citizen of the United States or a resident alien. Number 3,
So if you're an immigrant and you don't have the US nationality, can you still join the military?
at least 17 years old. Number 4, pass a medical exam. Number 5, pass the ASVAB. ASVAB stands for the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery Test and is part of its own myth.
Have you ever wanted to assert total domination over your friends and foes from the comfort of your couch? Then look no further than Bloodline, Heroes of Lithis. While casting spells and wielding gigantic halberds in your living room may be cumbersome, Bloodline lets you do so with simple history. Invites a bit of trouble ourselves between a wide selection of heroes to battle it out with your friends. Live your fantasy world as you team up. Log in right now to get the Karg Dragonborn clan for worth of free perks. Stop getting in trouble for waging war.
Sorry guys, I had to skip a little bit because this was about a pub, and I know you guys are not interested in that. It's not like I'm going to play it, so sorry about that.
In the house and decimate your enemies in Bloodline.
Number 3, the ASVAB isn't important. The ASVAB is a test that assesses your mathematical reasoning, understanding of mechanics and science, word knowledge, as well as your ability to assemble objects. No matter what part of the military you're interested in, you will take this test. But some people believe the ASVAB doesn't matter and that you can get into the U.S. military without passing this crucial exam.
Okay, I was about to ask because they talk about math and all of that. What if you fail the math test or the science test? Will that going to be something that prevents you from entering the military services?
This is not true. Every branch of the U.S. military requires a passing grade in this test, although what that score is varies from branch to branch, with the U.S. Air Force having the highest score requirements to join. Number 4, the drill sergeant will drill you into the ground. Drop and give me 20. Thanks to television and movies, we believe that training is brutal, with a sergeant continually screaming in your ear, forcing you into backbreaking amounts of exercise, and the punishment of cleaning the entire mess hall with a toothbrush. But while this may have at one time been true, this is not an accurate representation of the military and its trainers today. The U.S. military has now banned hazing in any form and has a zero-tolerance policy for those caught doing it. Although it may still take place, it is no longer encouraged or officially sanctioned. Instead, the U.S. Army calls it fundamentally in opposition to military values, and drill instructors can no longer treat recruits however they may like. Under the Uniform Code of Military Justice, they state, derogatory terms, excessive physical activities, and any abusive or violent contact are now forbidden. And those
I have to say, like, some of the most respectful people that you meet on the street have been on the army. They always call you yes sir, yes ma'am, like they always address you as respectful as they can.
caught can face severe punishment. Number 5, the pay in the military is low. Many people believe that those in the military are extremely low-paid public servants who struggle with their salaries. But like any other job or industry, pay can vary dramatically in the U.S. military. The base pay for new Army recruits who have been in service for under 2 years is lower at $21,999, but this increases with length of service. 4-star generals who have been in the military for 20-plus years are able to earn a much larger $203,698 per year.
I don't think that's a myth because $21,000 after 2 years, that's not a lot, to be honest. But I don't think someone goes to the army for the money. I think people go to the army for the love of the country and patriotism and things like that.
And depending on the state and military
And some
branch,
people are just hungry about something. It's not that they love the military, it's not like they love the country or about the money. They just want to go out and do something. Some people are also like that.
they may also only be taxed on their base pay, with all extra income their own to keep. Plus, those in the Army are able to stretch their pay further than other professions with additional compensation and benefits, such as providing bonuses for food, health, housing, higher education, as well as being given 30 annual vacation days. Army service can help soldiers pay for college with the post-9/11 GI Bill program, for example, providing steep discounts on tuition, as well as bonuses for accommodation and books. Depending on the length of service, the program can cover some or even all of one's public college fees, and for private and foreign college tuition, up to $25,000 annually.
Wow, it's amazing.
Number 6, everyone in the military has seen active combat. With troops fighting in the Middle East and stories of active combat on the news, many people believe that everyone in the military goes to war. But the U.S. military is a huge operation, and there are plenty of career paths and roles that have nothing to do with fighting overseas. For example, you could become a programmer, administrator, civil engineer, or psychiatrist, among many other options. And the newest branch of the U.S. military has nothing at all to do with combat, called the U.S. Space Force. It was established in 2019 as the world.
U.S. Space Force? I thought that was for the NASA to go to space, not for the U.S. military. I didn't know about this, man. It's crazy. Now they want to conquer space too?
Only independent space force. Their concern is dealing with the aliens if they ever beam down. Number 7.
Now we're going into science fiction, man. Dealing into aliens? That's crazy.
The Army is where socioeconomically disadvantaged people turn. Across the U.S., there are many people who believe that the Army is usually somewhere people with few options for jobs or money turn. It's believed to be a main choice for socioeconomically disadvantaged individuals in search of a better life. But the actual makeup of the military does not match this belief. A study in 2020 showed that a diverse range of people are attracted to a military career path, and that the poorest and wealthiest communities are actually underrepresented, with the majority of recruits coming from middle-class backgrounds. An earlier study concurred, showing that most recruits are actually wealthier, more educated, and more rural than most 18 to 24-year-olds. Number 8. Soldiers shoot to kill. An active war zone is a horrible place, and it's always assumed that if a weapon is being fired, then it is fired with one intent: to kill the enemy. And while it's true that today's military personnel go through extensive dehumanization of the enemy training, the psychological impact of killing another human being means it's very likely that few soldiers are actually willing to shoot with the intention of killing. Studies into this phenomenon have been inconclusive and conflicting on the actual percentage of soldiers willing to shoot to kill. But there has been corroborating evidence that the number is not as high as you may expect and varies from battle to battle, war zone to war zone. Overall, there is a lot of misinformation and misconceptions about the United States military and what it entails. These are just some of the most common myths that you hear every day. So now you know the truth. When are you signing up, soldier?
Alright guys, that is it for today's video. I'm just gonna say, like, the animation was amazing. I don't know who was doing the animation, but what is the name of the channel again? It is Simple History. Like, the animation is just fabulous, man. Alright, you learn something every day. We are continuing in our journey learning about the USA. Next we're going to Canada and maybe into England and things like that later on, but as of now we are with the USA. Okay, the video is long enough. A lot of you guys are already gone. Not probably, majority, 90+% of you guys are already gone. So I'm going to cut the video here, and if you're still here, do not forget to leave a like, comment on our channel next, and subscribe to the channel for more content. Let's get into 500k.